loudspeaker, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to get you guys out of here. What? I don't think it's a loudspeaker, though. It's just recording. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I don't really have any opening remarks. Just thanks for joining us tonight. Candidates, best of luck. Let's have a nice, clean game. No mudslinging. All right. I'm going to hand it over to Johnny, who's our Chief Justice, and he's going to be coordinating tonight's debate.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Cirillo, and I'm the Chief Justice of the Student Government Association. So first, I'll give some background about the format of tonight's debates, and then we'll start with Treasurer, then Vice President, and then President. So each candidate will have the opportunity to introduce themselves with their name, their hometown, and their educational year. The candidates will be given 120 seconds per response after the question and its background read by the moderator. Last time I checked, 120 seconds is 2 minutes. So time will start after you begin speaking, so take your time and then begin. Nathaniel, the editor of the Crimson, will keep time, and he'll raise his hand when 10 seconds are left. After each candidate has given their response, there will be an optional round of follow-up responses that will be up to 90 seconds. This could either be to another candidate or to build on a previous thought. The moderator is also at liberty to ask a follow-up question towards a given response, which may be answered in up to 90 seconds. After the moderator's questions, 2 audience members will be randomly selected to ask the group 1 question each. Okay? So with that, let's begin with the treasurer. So will the treasurer candidates please make their way in front of the teaching station? So 1 question was sent out to these candidates prior to the meeting as the pre-announced question they could prepare for. That question was, how will you guarantee that each campus organization has an equal opportunity to receive funding from the Student Activities Funding Committee, SAFC? So first, introduce yourselves, say your name, your major, your name, your hometown, and then your educational standing, and then time will begin when you cue Nathaniel to answer the question.
Should we all introduce ourselves and then answer?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Hi, I'm Victoria Pavsik. I'm a sophomore here in civil engineering, and I'm originally from New York.
Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Tufus. I'm a graduate student in sustainability, and I'm originally from Constanța, Romania.
And I'm Caitlin Chastain. I also go by Katie. And I am a freshman in biomedical engineering, and I currently live in Tampa.
Okay. So we'll start with, with Katie. The question again was, how will you guarantee that each campus organization has an equal opportunity to receive funding from the Student Activities Funding Committee, SAFC? And again, time will begin when you start speaking.
My responsibility as treasurer of student government is to look over the SAFC committee, and that is funding for all of the student organizations on campus. And so my responsibility is to be a mediator in the committee meetings to ensure that there's no bias for any of the requests that are put in for any of the organizations. And so to guarantee that each club on campus gets fair funding, they have to put in their request themselves. So each club has the opportunity to put in as much requests as they'd like, and then the money is divvied up based on when those requests are put in. There's certain rules that they have to follow that are all stated in the SAFC document, and none of those are looked past in the committee. And so those are the things that are voted on, and that is how a request is either denied or approved.
I think there needs to be a clarification to that question. Here's how I'm going to address it. As already told and known by the students, there is a SAFC document that every organization follows and that the treasurer and the committee members go by and vote by each and every year. That has not changed. What gets students frustrated, upset, and nervous all the time is that when they get denied requests over, oh, I didn't put everyone's email in, I didn't ask for the right things, I put in for an event that didn't follow with SAFC policies. So I think what students are truly asking is, what are ways I could do to improve the chances of me getting a request? And to answer that is, you should always choose your organization, choose a treasurer that is well knowledge in the SAC document. They go to the organization meetings, they talk to the SGA treasurer, and a good treasurer of every organization will also confirm with the group they're in, is this what exactly everyone wants? Is this what everyone can go to? Is this something we feel comfortable doing? And is the prices we're asking for, is it all reasonable? So it's not that, oh, FIT is not being fair to every organization. We are, and I've been in SAFC for a semester, and we go over thoroughly every organization, whether the document is 1 page or 13 pages. We go over everything you guys sent. We don't just trash it based on we don't like X, Y, Z. That's not professional. So that's how I feel about the SAFC. Thank you.
Okay. So there's no right or wrong, like, correct answer for this. It's more, every organization isn't going to get the same exact amount of funding because every organization needs different amounts of things and has different requests. The way to make sure everybody has an equal chance to get the amount of money is a good way. We did this year in SAFC is you set a cap for how much an organization can get. That way no organization gets so much money and no organization gets too little money. And you also have to make sure you're not spending the money right away. Like, we have X amount of money. That doesn't mean it needs to get spent first semester. We need to spend it based on the quality of the events and how many students it's going to help, not based on who puts in a request first and who wants what. Because to make it fair for everybody, if you have an event in the spring, that could help a lot more students than an event that costs more money in the fall. So it's using the money wisely and having a committee that is responsible and wants to put the money to the best use possible.
Thank you, Katie, Paul, and Victoria. Now there's an opportunity for 90 seconds of either directing a question or comment to another candidate or to continue your thought from before. If there's no interest in doing that, just let me know and we'll proceed to the next question.
John,
Yes, Trent?
I'd like to ask a question.
Can you save it for the audience questions after my...
Oh, is that a separate? That's a separate section.
Thank you, Trent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so question 2. What kind of role will you play as the chairperson of the Student Activities Funding Committee? So what relationship will you have with organizations and their treasurers?
My relationship with the treasurers, as treasurer of SGA, I plan on communicating the deadlines for all of the SAFC requests that are, because there's a fall one, and then there's a spring one, and then there's a summer one. And so all of those will be clearly stated in the beginning of the semester, the fall semester. And then all of the requirements of being able to receive funding will be clearly stated at the first general meeting of the semester, because sometimes that gets mixed up, and it won't just be stated in the general meeting, it'll also be sent out to all of the treasurers to ensure that they have all of the necessary information so that they can receive their funding. And it goes back on the question before on receiving fair funding, and I believe if all of that information is given to each treasurer, they have the fair advantage of getting all of the funding that they would like.
Thank you.
My goal would be to not just have the treasurers of each organization know the SAFC document as well as possible. What I mean by that is I've noticed several times with the request, while there are treasurers who do a great job and do everything to the detail, there are several that it's obvious that it's either the first time, or if they've done this before, it was poorly planned. So what I'll try to do is not just inform the treasurer, but also try to get at least to call it so at least a +1 as much as possible from each organization, and also tell them that if you can't make for the SGA meetings, if you can't forwardly make the fall training meetings, now I'll give out my email and contact and say set up a separate appointment with me. We can talk about what you're not sure about, and try my best to get it beyond the treasurer, because that treasurer will graduate, may not be interested, could potentially drop out of that position, and then someone would have to start all over from scratch. And everyone who's been in an organization, it hurts when you have someone take a new position and they don't know what they're doing because they didn't talk to the person who's done it before. So this way, this could make things streamlined for not just the organization, but our SAFC, because the better you guys do in filling out the request, the easier it is for us to approve and move on. That's all.
So, if elected treasurer, my role would be first and foremost to lead the SAFC committee meetings as professionally and impartially as possible, and to create a professional relationship with the other treasurers of the organizations, and be open and ready to answer questions, confusion, because filling out those requests is kind of hard if you're new at it, very confusing. So I'm have to be as transparent as possible in the decision-making process, in why things happen the way they did, and how that they can improve for the next time.
So again, if any of you would like to comment on a point made by another candidate or continue your thought from before. Okay. Last question, and this will have a bit of background. So in student government, one of our primary roles, and something that we have the opportunity to do, is to talk with upper level faculty and negotiate certain things and make change for students. And probably the most important and apparent way that students are affected is how much it costs to attend college. So the source of the Student Activities Funding Committee funds is from the student services fee. Full-time Melbourne campus students are charged $125 per semester as that fee, and part of that money goes towards the pool that this SAFC uses to allocate funds to organizations. Are you in favor of raising that student activities fee? Why or why not?
I personally am in favor of raising that fee, not by a large amount, maybe $25, $50. And that is because I feel as if this semester, I know for a fact that money came a little short towards the end of this semester. And there were a lot of clubs and organizations that had very good causes that they were going to put the money towards, and all of the events that SAFC funds are for all students on campus. And as being an SGA, it's looking out for all of the students, because we're for the students by the students. And I feel as if the fee was raised just that little bit of money, that we could put more money towards events that go on campus that more students could be involved in, and it would not only higher their education but also everything else that they have in life.
I would like to see the fee raised, but what I would like to also see is, would they try to raise it to a point where they think would it increase the activities or events planned to a significant amount? What I mean is, for example, let's say we had 100 large events this year with what we had, with the pool we had right now. If, say, we raised it by $50, would it be considerable? Would that, say, be considerable enough to maybe even double or triple the amount of things we could do? So I'm in favor of raising if we could do a lot more. And I know that would take a lot of research and background to analyze that. But if we could look possibly at our past budgets and the amounts and kind of events we've had, to say, within the past 3 or 4 years, that could give us a good idea of what the students have done and what they liked with the money we gave them, and what could potentially be done in the future. Now, is it hard to project? Can we predict what students do from year to year? That is tough, but at least if we can get a correlation, we can try to project as best as possible. That would be all.
So I am in favor of increasing this fee, and the reason is, for me, is pretty simple. It's an extra $20, $30 from every student on campus really adds up, and the amount you're putting in, the amount you're paying, you can get out a lot more than that if you know how to utilize your student government and you are part of organizations and a part of this campus. Because say you're going to a conference that could normally cost you like $1,000, okay, well that's now possibly funded by student funding committee, and you've only paid $150, $160 in a fee to get that. It just, to me, makes sense if you're able to utilize it and you're an active part of this campus.
Last question from me, and this we can work, Victoria, backwards, just to change up the order slightly.
Okay.
And again, just begin when you're ready to speak so Nathaniel knows when to start the time. So this last question dealt with how student money is used, what they pay in tuition, and how that affects them in campus life. At the other end, the Student Government Association also has a budget. So the Student Government Association is one of 6